Today we're talking with our special patient, Thelma Cook. Tell us about your surgery experience, Ms. Cook. What was bothering you prior to your surgery?
Well, my lower and upper eyelids, my upperwards were drooping badly. And when I looked at myself in the mirror, I looked sad, tired, and even mad. And I dealt with it for about 4 years.
How was your initial consultation with Dr. Scheiner?
Great. He was very patient with me. The staff was very thorough with the exams. He answered all my questions. So I really knew going into the procedure what to expect, how I was going to feel post-op, and the process of my healing after the surgery.
How are the surgery center facilities?
Oh, I think, as far as I'm concerned, it's a 5-star facility. The front desk staff, all the way back to his staff, personal staff, the staff in the surgery suite, they were excellent with me. I answered all my questions, made me feel very relaxed, welcome.
And how was your surgery?
The actual procedure? I would say it was a piece of cake. It was great. I really was expecting to have a little bit more pain than I did, and I really didn't. I was surprised that the swelling was very minimal, and even the bruising was very, very minimal. I expected to be a lot worse than it was. The most uncomfortable I had was at the corner of my eyes, which was a little tender, and there was really no pain. I never had to take any pain medication at all post-op.
Okay. And how was your recovery?
Easy. It was very easy. I was able to take 2 weeks, which he really wanted me to do, and so I did take the 2 full weeks, and I think that really made the process a lot easier. It was nice to sit home. The vinegar soaks that I had to do were actually very soothing and felt very good to my eyes. So that recovery process was real easy. It was not complicated to follow his instructions at all.
And how are your follow-up questions and appointments taken care of by Dr. Scheiner and his staff?
It's been really great. I was really impressed that he called me post-op personally to check on me, to see how I was doing. And then the first couple of days that I did come back in right after surgery, you got me back here really quick, answered all my questions, concerns. I felt that I had an immediate link to you if I needed you. So it was a very, very, very good experience.
What did having your surgical procedure mean to you?
It's given me a really boosted my self-confidence. I work with a lot of young people, and I was really beginning to feel very self-conscious of, I guess, the normal aging process. And my husband wasn't too enthused about me doing anything, so he was my main obstacle to get over getting the procedure done. But now that I've done it, he's really pleased with the appearance. I just feel younger. I feel more energetic. I looked mad and tired, and I didn't feel mad and tired before I had the procedure. So it's made a big difference in my self-esteem.
What do people say to you now after your surgery?
They can't figure it out. The people that was closest to me knew I was having it done, and they were amazed at how well it looked. But my friends that I work with, the other coworkers that I really didn't tell, they stare at me, and they can't figure it out. And they said, "What you do? What did you do? There's something different about you." And they can't figure it out until I tell them, and then they're very, very surprised. I have 2 sisters who live out of state, and they're both younger than me. And I emailed them the before and after, and they flipped out. They were so shocked. They said, "We see you all the time, and that's just the way you looked, but we cannot believe the difference." And they both said that I now look younger than they are. And those are my younger sisters.
Why would you recommend Dr. Scheiner to your family and friends?
The whole process, not only the facility, but him personally. You can tell that he stays up on the latest technology and procedures with his training and experience. His bedside manner, you can genuinely tell that he really enjoys what he does and that he really is concerned about the welfare of his patients through these processes. The facility itself is outstanding. The staff was outstanding. I would highly recommend the facility. I have already highly recommended the facility to several people that are very interested in thinking about it. I've planted some seeds.
Do you have any other comments from our front office staff, our technicians, our coordinators, anybody else in our office that may have helped you through the process?
Well, the big thing was the financing, and the financial girls were really great about getting me through that process of the financing of it. And so they were very, very thorough and helpful about getting me through that process to make sure that the procedure happened. I had a lot of fears about the pain involved and the recovery process, and there was very, very little. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, the pain level was on nothing. I never even took a Tylenol. And I think that's the thing that scares people the most is, the thought of the pain and the time for recovery, which was not as bad as, I had anticipated.
For anybody that might be considering eyelid surgery, resurfacing, what kind of advice, insight would you give them?
I would tell them to talk to the physician, find out what he advises, and go for it.
Thank you so much for speaking with us today, and I am just thrilled that you're thrilled.
I am very happy with what I have.
Good.